It's Tuesday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. Hello, Abigail in the building. Hi. I love the colorful jacket on you.
I decided to go the peacock way today.
Oh, nice. How you doing?
Very well, very good. You know, this tinted glass permits, the reintroduction of the tinted glass permits. A lot of time I've tried to do this registration myself, and I see that the site is always down or showing error messages. And from the information I got, it's like it was supposed to, enforcement was supposed to be on the 1st of August. Now, they said from next week they're going to be harassing drivers, and it can get to the point that they impound your car if you don't get the permit. But then the process is even tedious. As in getting to do this registration, you're very frustrated.
From the police or from the VIO?
From police. You know that most of the time, the frustration in Nigeria is like when you wake up and you don't have a new trouble, it's like you're not a Nigerian. But they should help us and help our life, because it's really stressful.
Somebody had sent a website on his blog about the tint permit going up on the permission to, to harass motorists on the 4th of August, and he said there's a website you can do this registration right from your comfort of your bedroom. And me and my husband just went tried it, and the website's not open.
Exactly.
It's been happening for weeks.
So you go to the office and do it.
Which office? The police?
Office, any office.
Yeah.
Where would they do it? It's not online.
I think there's one
they have designated
final
points.
fee that you do with the police that we were Adejobi had released at one point in time.
I have to ask
I'll try and find
CSP, who then he might give us some information. How are you doing, Nima?
I'm fine. I'm just worried about Lagosians. So pictures were everywhere yesterday about flood, and Lagosians are still clogging the drains. This morning I was driving through Orile, it was the office, and the gutters were full to the top. And somebody, that market at Orile bus stop, just opposite the police station, all of you know yourself. The people at Agboju bus stop, the markets, the geologist business is not just to come and do madamly, that make sure that they conform with environmental laws. Because when the floods come to your houses and you are shouting governor, it's farther than your attitude. Loma also is at the PSP on strike. It's been 3 weeks they come to. My bin is spilling over. If we now engage the truck pushers, they will go and block our entrance with the waste. They don't have a place they're going with the waste. So waste collection is one of the things that cannot fail. The system of waste collection should not fail. We've suffered too much consequence for it, and now we're in the rainy season. The market people, when they finish selling, pour it. Even the sweepers. I saw a sweeper sweeping the road into the gutter. Those small holes where the water is supposed to follow, sweeping it. This morning broke my heart seriously. That market at Orile bus stop, if you're watching, I'm calling whoever is the head of that market to deal with the women.
This is where we need the local government chairman who have been recently sworn in to get to work. Because drainage issues, maintenance of the drainage, cleaning of the community is their responsibility.
Exactly.
So all these local government chairmen going upon, it's time for you to get to work.
Yeah, you know that big stuff that they put in designated areas always filled up and always overflows this, and they don't come to pack it as well.
In our own that market, I said I drove. At 1 o'clock, they carry that waste. By 6 o'clock in the morning, I reached there. I'm wondering who can pour and back. Is it like I saw them lifting it and clearing that thing? They were sweeping the entire market at night. By 6 o'clock,
people are difficult to govern.
And then they pay market dues and charges. What do they use those things for?
They picked it up and somebody brings it right back. That's what she said. You pay those dues, government cleans it up. And then some people
they have market security men. No, there are also people who do this thing.
Residents in my estate, I see them. You're going out, you're holding your waste in your hand. Then you get along the express, you throw it out.
Yeah.
So how do you regulate those kind of people? It's just how do you remember?
I'm fine. I'm just a bit stressed. I don't have a driver, so I drive myself up and down.
You sacked him?
See,
women. I thought you sacked him. I don't have a driver. Who is it not you that sacked him?
I sacked him. I beg, his wallet is too much, and everything.
So
he's always scratching my car and everything. And you tell me that he will just drive, they will not come. I say, you just be driving, innocent, you just be going. Then the car will say, this guy is innocent, let me go and scratch him. Or this guy is just going on his own, let me look for his trouble. Broom. I don't understand. So I'm always fixing car, everything. Like, please, the stress is just...
There's the difference between a driver and somebody who moves the car. There's a guy that I know, he's very sharp. He knows how to move the car. You see me, think he's sharp driver. I called him, I said, bros, you're a horrible driver.
Yeah.
Because they think by driving sharp means you know how to drive. No, it's on understanding the rules of the game. So driving is in itself an art. And honestly, if I wasn't a TV presenter, I might probably actually be Uber driver. I own a driving school because I take it so dearly because I believe that driving is such an important
I don't think I'll be able to teach
Is it by driving school?
I would even teach. I don't mind having a driving school and teaching and reteaching these drivers.
Teaching, the kind of, if you want to know the mentality of Nigerians, go to the roads. Even the ones who went to driving school, you will see that once you see that a driver wants to overtake, that's when the next person knows to speed. So it's just a mentality thing.
The commercial drivers are the worst.
That is all we can take on the banter, which is taking extra 1 minute. Let's go on a short break. When we come back, we'll look at the front pages of the paper. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're going to start with The Nation. PDP heads for another crisis over congresses. Lagos declares Adron, Lekki County, Anchor 173 other estates illegal. Tinubu splashes $100,000. I said it yesterday. Flats OON on the Victoria's National Ladies Basketball Team, the Tigress. Ladoja named 44th Olubadan. Designate. INEC, early 2027 campaign violates electoral law. 38% of SSCE candidates make 5 credit, including maths and English. Women's rights group decry she will arrest attacks on police women. And African leaders shift focus to healthcare. Okay, which story are we starting with?
Okay. So the head of the Nigeria office of the West African Examination Council, WAEC, and this body handles our West African Senior School Certificate Examination, which is the WASEM. And this year's result, according to this HNO, Dr. Amos Dagut, says that there's been a 33% decrease in performance. He said the comparison of the percentage of candidates in this category of the WASI exam for schools from 2024 shows a decline of 33.8% in performance. Last year, the body said about 38.32% of candidates who took the exam made credits in 5 subjects, including English language and maths, but they have a very, very poor performance in the general exams compared to last year. Emphasis on various area subjects, maths, English, and areas of strength. Just basically, these figures shows that, a distraction. We made it a hot topic when the last year's result came out and there was a decrease. And then we started to blame the parents, the phones, the distractions, and now we're here again this year.
Decrease. What I have here is Sowolu boosts Justice Ministry with buses. So the governor of Lagos State has presented 7 new buses to the Ministry of Justice. The buses were presented through the Lagos State Security Trust Fund, and this is in fulfillment of the governor's support for the judicial discharge of judicial matters and strengthening the justice delivery. And the Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Mr. Lawal Pedro, expressed his appreciation to the governor for the support he has been giving the justice system. And according to how it said, 2 of the buses have been designated to convey offenders to court and back to their various facilities. And other ones, they said, will help. 2 other buses will be dedicated towards the Special Task Force on Human Trafficking. Well, it's actually a good one that the governor sees the lapses in different ministries and steps in to support. So that's what.
Okay, so I have the stories of, they said Lagos declares Adron, Lekki County, Anchor, and 173 other estates illegal. They got this shocking news yesterday from the state government. They said the projects which they have invested their fortunes are illegal. And they said that they also gave developers of these estates that 3 weeks to perfect their documents. Failing in providing this document would make them to seal off all their properties. They said the Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development gave them a 21-day window to process and lay out approvals or risk having their properties sealed. But then the Real Estate Developers Association, they came out to say, they criticized the action. They said the government acted in bad faith and that the government is demarketing the business involved by labeling them as unauthorized developments and issuing a threat to shutting them down in 21 days if they fail to comply. And they said this action can cause a run on the companies and also send shock to the market. This is not good for business at all. So they went ahead to list out all the estates. There are so many estates involved. And they are saying that if they don't, do the due process.
So government did not say that they are fraudsters. Yes. Government said that they have not perfected, meaning that they did not have their paperwork done. Most of them, when they start their estate, is as they go, they get developmental fees, and then they go and get their building approval, their structuring approvals, and then finally applying for their CFO. Some will even tell you general CFO, and the CFO is what they are not even applied for it. They just have so they usually just do a survey and start to sell. And so government is just simply listing them. You people should come. Government have not said your thing. Government have not marked anybody's estate for demolition. They're saying if you do not conform with your paperwork, finish. That's what perfection means. So,
okay, so responding to Sahara Reporter's article that seemed to be alleging that Inspector General of Police promoted certain persons in the police force, women's advocacy group Her Rights Watch has condemned what it described as a calculated misogynistic and false campaign by Sahara Reporters Omoyele Shore to demonize women in Nigeria police force, especially those serving with the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun. According to the article, they sought to scandalize ACP Bukola Kuti and DSP David Victoria as shameless, sexist smear built on malicious gossip rather than credible journalism. The convener, Onyezi, in a strongly worded statement, expressed dismay at the choice Showore to turn what is essentially an institutional issue of police promotions, which is often overwhelmingly skewed towards the male folk, into personal attack on a few women who have actually distinguished themselves in service just because he seeks to impress certain paymasters. So pretty much he was trying to suggest that certain women were being promoted by the IGP because of their closeness to him and consistently over a period, and making some suggestions, some slight suggestions. And she was trying to say that it's unfair for a woman who's been promoted to be described in that such manner. True. Let's see if we can take one more story for the break. Let's go on a very short break. When we come back, we continue with our review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Trust Nivea Perfect and Radiant Body Lotion to reveal your skin's natural radiance. The same unique formula enriched with berry extracts, even tone complex, and UV filters to reduce dark spots and even out your skin tone. For radiant and even tone skin, say hello again to Nivea Perfect and Radiant Body Lotion. Try the full Nivea Perfect and Radiant range to unlock your most radiant self.
Stay confident, stay focused, breathe through it with TomTom.
Breaking news isn't just about speed, but more importantly, about fact and accuracy. It is responsible journalism, being ahead, unbiased, sensitive, in telling the stories that people would want to hear in a way that protects their sanity and for the public good. And it goes beyond breaking the news to actually following up, exploring all the angles, engaging newsmakers, tracking impact, all geared towards informing, educating, and setting agenda for the people. Breaking news is holistic, entire, complete. It's about you, me, and the world we live in. Breaking news is at the core of what we do at TVC News, and it's the honor of my life to serve you this news, fresh off the press.
TVC News, first with breaking news.
Good morning, Marina Station and all the passengers. Efficient, it's comfortable.
This development will go a long way in reducing congestion and emission.
The trains are...
Thanks for staying with us. So moving on now to Punch. Ghana Baraje McCarthy in tight race for PDP chair. Tinubu gives the Tigress $100,000 cash and flat, and also the OON honor. Fact to recover 101 billion naira from customs after audit report. $160 million fraud. Vietnamese police arrest 2 Nigerians and 5 accomplices. Olubadan, Ladoja awaits Makinde's nod after council nomination. Arrest crisis, protesting ex-soldier pressure for FG with Friday deadline. Afrexim Bank leads $4 billion refinancing loan for Dangote refinery. And states versus discos, power cuts begin over tariff impasse. Which story are we taking?
Okay, so I have the $160 million fraud by the Vietnamese government. They said the police in Vietnam have accused a group that includes 2 Nigerian nationals and 5 additional suspects from other countries. They specifically said 2 Nigerians. The other countries, they didn't mention them, of fraud worth roughly 160 million through the creation of over 300 fictitious businesses. They said that they alleged that the scheme was carried out with assistance from the Vietnamese-led network, and they said the financial channels used by the accused were predominantly linked to Nigerian-based bank accounts. And they said that they were at there was a meeting that they had, and it was a contract kind of meeting. That was where the Nigerians obtained those people's email addresses. And what they did was that they now changed some characters in their email address and now started sending them, messages telling them that they are doing businesses with them and that they should pay the money into certain accounts. And that was how they were able to fraud them and everything. But at least they have been caught and they are still investigating the matter.
Okay. So what I have here is fair pricing for electricity needed urgently. So, there has been talk on different states handling their power supplies. And in Enugu State, there has been some sort of experiment. And they said the new approach and intervention by the Enugu State Electricity Regulatory Commission to reduce tariff for consumers has spotlighted systemic challenges, and this has presented a case for what they said. Enugu State, they now pay like 106 naira per kilowatt per hour, unlike the federal that they pay 208. So they are saying even this money that people pay, they don't even get service for the power they pay for. And you notice that even the federal government was owing a huge amount of money and finally opted for 10 billion naira solar panel for Aso Rock. So people are saying there's something that can be done in the federal stage because it's actually working in Enugu State. So that's what's here.
The story I have, I already mentioned it, the Tigress, congratulations to them. Mr. President gave them also $100,000, and the honor of OON, and also two, I think, three-bedroom flats at the Renewed Hope estate. I mean, congratulations to them. Obviously, he also gave the technical crew $50,000 each. And I mentioned it yesterday. I was telling him. But there's one more team that the president is here to give. There's a group called Your View TVC. We've been doing this thing 12 years. About one all-female breakfast show on Nigerian television. I think it's international.
And it's consistent winner.
Yes, it's an international award. Please. So we are.
Three-bedroom flat is okay,
Moving on to Daily Sun. Wike hits Atiku and David Mark. Again, retired soldiers protest in Abuja over non-payment of entitlements. APC brands El Rufai real threats to Nigeria's progress. Olubadan advisory council nominates Ladoja as the next Olubadan. Oyetola vows sweeping reforms to end both mishaps as committee submits report. And Nigeria inches closer to 2 million barrels per day oil production targets. Okay, which story?
Yes, so according to the executive chairman, the chief executive of the Nigeria
NPC.
No, the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, who was at the 2025 Nigeria Annual International Conference and Exhibition, he announced that we have already exceeded 1.8 million barrels per day, and that our target was 2 million barrels per day, so we are good, and this is a major win. He announced this at the event, and of course...
Is it your first time hearing this kind of thing? We don't hit 2 million before now.
How does it trickle?
It's not.
I don't know.
No. But you know, our inability to achieve our target of 2 million barrels per day also translates to a poor economy, because we don't get enough of the forex when we sell crude. We also but the problem is that we also sell some crude for naira, and if it's about the forex alone.
And some is stolen.
But we are proud of this, and it's because of
I'm
security.
happy. I'm happy, but I just need some real good news right now. Any other
So
stories,
what I have here, retired soldiers protest over non-payment of entitlement. You know how
police just did their own. Was it not last week?
Was I not saying to Abigail that listen to your story very well? He's just reading my story. This one.
You don't cast. Okay, so some retired soldiers of the Nigerian Army who voluntarily disengaged in the third and fourth quarters of 2023 yesterday staged a peaceful protest in front of the Federal Ministry of Finance headquarters in Abuja, and their demand is immediate payment of their outstanding entitlements. These ex-servicemen, some of whom were dressed in military camouflage, were demanding the immediate payment of outstanding shortfalls in their gratuity, security debarment allowance, and parking allowance. As it is said, July 1st, 2024 was when most of them stopped. Until now, they are yet to get this entitlement. You know, it's become pertinent now, because when you see Falcons getting being rewarded with a huge sum of money, the Tigress being rewarded, and then you're asking yourself, the people who are really protecting Nigeria, how do we compensate them? Because the way they live their lives, their welfare is below poor. If there's any word worse than poor, it's below it, and it's something we should look at, because we're talking about insecurity. This is what we should be fighting. It's the root of it.
Excuse me.
Sorry.
Who's next? Okay, moving on to Vanguard. Okay, I talked about the Tigers again. Entitlements, ex-soldiers shut down Finance Ministry. We just mentioned that. US to international students will revoke your visa if you skip classes and leave program. APC, ADC bicker over attacks on Atiku, El Rufai, Obi, and Amechi. Ojulari resumes work amid resignation rumor. PDP crisis temporarily over, Wike declares. And flash floods ground Lagos and business paralyzed. High interest rate insecurity responsible for low economic growth. Okay, which story are you taking, Vanguard?
Okay, so I have the story of the U.S. warning international students, saying that they said the United States has issued a stern warning to international students, including Nigerians, over the consequences of violating student visa regulations. They said this on X. They said that students who drop out, skip classes, or leave their academic programs without notifying their school risk having their visas revoked. They said the U.S. mission therefore advised all student visa holders to strictly follow the rules tied to their visas and ensure they remain in good academic standing. I really like this law, because I know of a lot of people who get to the U.S. They will send their school fees and everything, and then they drop out of school and they're doing other things.
They're hustling.
Hustling, and you know, land of opportunities according to them. They start working. The main purpose of them going there to school, they stop. The school is
the face.
It's the miss now.
But
survivor is
now they will bring them come back.
No, they shouldn't.
So please let me take my darling minister's story. Minister Wike yesterday.
My uncle.
Your uncle.
But I'm not girl you been now.
Your uncle. He had a media chat. We were there. TVC was also there. Okay. And yes, he declared that the crisis rocking the PDP, that the People Democratic Party, is temporarily over, following the exit of those called buccaneers and vampires. Noting that his firm resistance against these people and the impunity led to the shedding of PDP's excess baggage. The minister, however, insisted that the outcome of the recent South-South Zonal Congress of the party, which produced Chief Dan Obe as the national vice president, must be accepted in order to stave off other round of crisis. According to him, PDP's 2023 presidential candidate is so obsessed, referring to Atiku, obsessed with serially getting the presidential ticket of any party he belongs to, saying he left the PDP because he knew he was not going to get the ticket. Note that Atiku is doing everything to secure ticket at the ADC. Wike said that anytime the former vice president is unable to secure a presidential ticket, he jumps to another party, detailing his history as a serial defection person. But either way,
Vanguard also did a report on the floods that happened in Lagos, and they reminded us that NIMET had issued a warning of light rains that would, most likely
light rain.
Light rain that is continuously raining across the Abia, Imo, in the southwestern states, southern states generally. Imo and Lagos was one of the states, and so they said even though this had been done and reported by their paper, the rain started over the night before Monday, continued intermittently on Monday, and they witnessed heavy floods on the island and mainland.
Mr. Aki, our floor manager, and Mr. Coyote, our cameraman, said somebody held the rain for a whole month and now came.
And they are released it now.
They are saying they are chests. And I said, they say, yes, okay.
And now we're not there now. So they just took, how this flood affected the Yalaro area, Ikorodu, a lot of areas. The pictures are not looking good, but just as I said in my banter, do your part. Loma, please pick up all the waste. Please, my house now. 3 weeks of waste, they've not picked it up.
Terrible.
Okay, so court jails Edo physically challenged drug trafficker.
Okay.
6 orders, 93 years. So the Federal High Court sitting in Benin City, Edo State, has sentenced a physically challenged woman, Rita Iden, 6 other individuals to cumulatively 93 years in prison for various drug-related offenses. As it is, they said about 7 counts, so we can't talk so much on it because it's still there. So they're saying the NDLEA will not excuse anyone because of their physical challenges. You can't say because you're physically challenged, you can be lawless. So we are going to jail you and 6 other people for 93 years. I wonder how they're going to... Yes.
For how many years?
93. They are going to split it. There are 7 of them in total, so they're going to split it.
Okay.
Our final paper, the Nigerian Tribune, let's find a story of not taking. Armed men in motorbikes kill 11, kidnap 70 in Zamfara. How do you kidnap 70 people? Lagos residents cry out as flood sacks communities. Women's rights group decries attack on female police. Plot against Ojulari to undermine NNPCL reform, says CCDI. AKT 2026. Oyebanji at APC Secretariat formally declares intention to run for 2nd term. And the channel back with windfall into food security, human capital development. Experts tell federal government and states. Okay, which story?
That same story we talked about. Armed men on motorbikes kill 11, kidnap 70 in northwest Nigeria. This it looks like the pattern of what happened in Imo State not so long ago, 2 weeks ago. So they said some armed men on motorbikes killed 11 people and kidnapped at least 70 others, including women and children, in a village in the northwest Nigeria. Witnesses say they came on a bike and started shooting sporadically, and then they killed a set of people. They came shooting randomly before adopting their daughters and children. As of today, they haven't heard anything from anybody, and everywhere is quiet. As it is, they said they don't even know who they usually term them armed bandits. They don't know, they don't have any information as to where these people are, where they're taking them to, or demand so far.
Really
it's actually so sad.
Yeah.
Very sad.
Okay, we hope that the government is able to rescue them as soon as possible. That's all we can take on Front Page Review. When we come back, we want our next segment. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Solution to Lagos traffic challenges.
This is where we take the final, decisions on policies, programs of government that will have to ensure that, the narration of Lagos as a PLC is taken very, very seriously.
This is a major pedestrian bridge linking Oyinbo here to Apapa Road over there.
With this overpass, we are providing what we call permanent solutions.
This place is one of the most dangerous areas at the biosecurity environment.
This can go into the news and every crumbs of your neighborhood.
Our goal is to remain as Africa's model megacity, to move our GDP from the 5-6 position to the 3rd position, and we believe is achievable with all the commitments we have.
Explore the city of Lagos, where dreams are made and possibilities are endless.
I'm
Adedoja Salamadini. I live in Lagos, inside Lagos.
I'm Nifemi Oguntoye, news anchor with TVC News. My day is usually busy and it's difficult keeping up with breaking news stories, trending stories, business news, stock exchange and what have you. But with TVC News on WhatsApp, I'm able to catch up with all the breaking news, real-time updates and trending stories on the go, right on my phone, no matter where I am. It's quick, easy and always on. And hey, you can join us by scanning the QR code or using the link on our X and Instagram. Why wait? Come to the side of news that keeps you ahead. TVC News, first with breaking news.
I'm Miriam Lunge. I'm a passionate environment advocate and a published author.
I am the founder of Celebration, a businesswoman, and a fashion icon.
I am a wealth coach and a real estate developer.
I am Amako Arakwe. I'm a corporate commercial lawyer and an entrepreneur.
Barkamu da warhaka. I am Ramatu Shehu Oyibo, an entrepreneur and a business coach.
I am the voice of an average Muslim woman, an hijabite, and a lawyer.
I am a polymath and a serial entrepreneur.
I am Murayo Afolabi Brand, Managing Director, TVC Entertainment. I'm a media consultant, producer, and broadcaster.
The ladies of Your View are made of women from different professions, tribes, cultures, and religion. Join us every Monday to Friday as we share our views on topical and social issues.
The TVC News at 7 and the TVC News at 10 are not like any other news broadcast.
It's the big news app, the hour for the big breaking stories.
We've got some of the best reporters on the field,
taking you through as it happens.
It's fast-paced, hot-paced,
with investigations that matter.
bringing the news that affects your life.
With sports, entertainment and business news, so you don't miss a thing.
Experiences, your sports coverage was there.
Epic.
Data will not be giving me advice. Hell no.
Nobody really gives a about you on social media. You know the funniest part, we just sleeping in the morning, they're showing us how they're kissing their partner. What's my business?
So it's the same way you take your business to social media. Maybe you're traveling, you take it to social media. Why is your relationship exempt from that? It's a part of your life, so why are you hiding it?
Why are you even taking your trip to social media? You've not heard of village people.
It's Battle of the Sexes, guys.
Imagine a country with over 300 plenty languages. Why you go the only focus on Yoruba, Hausa and Igbo? Where we get a common language, where they unite everybody from Oga to even Madam self and every person where they for street. That's now why we they introduce to 89.9 Yanga FM, the #1 urban pidgin radio station where they unite us all. From the award-winning breakfast show, Waiting Day, with your brother, your friend, Wale Po.
Everywhere,
Gen Z, it a job for this time.
This is Cruise Express.
And this go be the best 4 hours of our life. Country people, make una join us.
Aww.
Now we be What's Up Naija crew. Now we they give you what they sup for inside we country.
Yes, so
keep it locked.
If God be your papa, why you not gonna make younger?
Down to a holla.
Now here we dey settle all the matter.
Bro, you're right here.
Nobody better than we, right?
How can our whispers be that? Make I just be the last sensible voice where you go hear.
Now we be 89.9 Yanga FM.
Akiwande Oluwole Soyinka was born on 13th July 1934 in Abeokuta, Nigeria, to parents Samuel and Grace Soyinka. His education began with the Christian lessons of his parents as well as the more traditional Yoruba spiritual customs taught to him by his grandfather. He had his preparatory university studies at Government College Ibadan in 1954, subsequently University College Ibadan, and he continued at the University of Leeds, earned a bachelor's degree in English literature. Soyinka's master's degree focused on projects combining his Yoruba culture with traditional British theatre traditions. He later returned to school in Nigeria to study African theatre, during which time he continued to produce poems and plays, one of which appeared on Nigerian television. Shortly after, he became the chief of the Cathedral of Drama at the University of Ibadan. Nigeria had only recently gained independence from Britain and political corruption was at a high. Soyinka's plays and poems became increasingly political and he began giving speeches protesting government corruption. He was accused of conspiring with the Biafra rebels. He was therefore arrested and imprisoned in 1967 for almost 2 years during the Civil War, but managed during his time to write numerous poems. He was finally released in 1969 after a brief period in France. He returned to his position at the university where he founded the magazine Black Orpheus. He left his position and Nigeria in 1971, wary of the political climate of the country. During this time, he published books of poetry and essays. His plays were collected and published, and newer plays were staged. In 1986, he was the first African to win the Nobel Prize in Literature for a wide cultural perspective and with poetic overtones fashioning the drama of existence. He dedicated his acceptance speech to Nelson Mandela and used the platform to criticize apartheid. Later that same year, Soyinka was awarded the Ajib Prize and in 1988 published his book Mandela's Earth and all the poems as well as art, dialogue, and outrage, essays on literature and culture. He also accepted a position at Cornell University. Throughout his life, he has served as a spokesman against apartheid and government corruption. He has won numerous other awards for his work, including the Anisfield Wolf Book Award, the Academy of Achievement Golden Plate Award, and the Ajib Prize for Literature, and he has taught at many prestigious universities, including Emory University, Harvard, and Obafemi Awolowo University. In his lifetime, Soyinka has published 2 novels, 3 collections of short stories, made 3 movies, translated 2 novels, 5 memoirs, 7 poetry collections, 13 essay collections, and produced nearly 30 plays. He holds honorary doctorates from numerous universities and has been invited to teach in schools around the world. He continues to write prolifically in spite of a bout with prostate cancer in 2014. Wole Soyinka, the Nigerian playwright and political activist, has positioned himself as a voice of the voiceless through his piece of art. He has distinguished himself as the African icon that continuously makes a mark in African literature and the world at large.
Thanks for staying with us. So, today, formerly known as Aminat Abdul Sattar Anifowoshe, Mrs. Aminat Yahya is a distinguished educator, principled leader, visionary mentor, and a devout community developer whose impactful service spans over 3 decades in education, Islamic propagation, and youth transformation. She's a formidable force in Islamic leadership who served as a pioneer and national Amira of Al-Mumina, that's the Believing Woman organization, for 9 years. Today, we celebrate 3 decades of amazing work to build young Muslim women. And we, as a show, Your View, we try to represent as many groups as possible. And because we have hijabites amongst us, it's important to also to ensure that your community is well represented and celebrated accordingly. So join us as we welcome with us our dear guest, Aminat. Welcome to the show. Good to have you on the show. Welcome to the show. Yes. Welcome to the show. So tell us about your journey to this point, because being a Muslim woman in itself is a pride for a lot of people, but being a hijabite is a whole different another ball game. And people always go through a lot of challenges, building homes, having successful families, even within that. So give us a bit of your journey to that point and how you're doing 3 decades on.
Thank you. I started this, okay.
Go ahead.
I started my journey about 29 years ago when I joined the civil service, the Teaching Service Commission. Exactly 1st of June 1996 as a classroom teacher. And in District 6, I started while I was in Mushin as the classroom. I was taking Islamic studies. So teaching is not an ordinary job for me. It is a passion. I see it as a passion, a call. So, and I love doing it. So it's something I love doing. So as a classroom teacher, thereafter as a year tutor, then at a point in time I was chosen as the student affairs officer because of the way I manage the students. And presently, the vice principal, Egbe Junior High School, Egbe.
Nice.
So that's the journey so far.
Also, in your profile, we read about your civic value propagation. As a teacher, you started Kick Against Indiscipline initiative in schools. I know that it is an agency of Lagos State government, but I'm surprised that this initiative existed in school. So what did you achieve? What was your intention and what did you achieve with that?
Yes. Actually, I started the agency in 2018 precisely. And it is just a way of making my own contribution because the government cannot do it all alone. And what I do in Kick Against the Discipline has 2 segments. There's a segment for the teachers and there's a segment for the students. So what I do is that appreciating ourselves, we need to appreciate ourselves. So, and I took it up upon myself. We have a criteria. I work with the students. It is a club, Kai Club. They have their officers, but I do the coordination. So, and every week we assess teachers, rating them based on some skills. And at the end of the month, the teacher that comes with the best, we celebrate such a teacher on the assembly ground every month. So, and then the students too, we look at students, their conduct, their academic performance, and every month too, we celebrate the best class, we celebrate the neatest class, and so on, just to ginger them, to assist teachers to do more. That this job, we are all looking up to you, and we are appreciating what you are doing. Somebody somewhere, even the students are appreciating what you are doing. And by the time I started, there was an improvement in teachers' performance. Because they really appreciated the effort, that even within, people are appreciating them. Not only government appreciated them, the students, the teachers.
Let me come to you in a second, because I wanted you to help Nigerians understand what the Al-Muminat Believing, what exactly was the objective behind forming that organization. I think Nigerians would like to hear that.
Concerning Al-Muminat, Aminat came on board on the 1st of October 1995.
Okay.
That was a time when we needed an organization to serve the yearnings of Muslim women who wants to know about their religion. They want to do this religion and exceed in their religion, and at the same time, as professionals, as career women, they want to be able to cope. So at that time, we need an organization to do that job, and some of us came up and we sat down, we drafted a constitution, and we brought it up. Aminat, the Believing Women Organization. It is out to it is out to inform, educate the Muslim students, not only these Muslim women, not only on their religious life, on their economic, social, and empowerment. So how do the Muslim women will be able to compete favorably amongst the other?
Salamun alaikum. I know how difficult it can be, for you to be able to, maneuver your way through society. Okay, so you said you taught a class.
Yes.
What's class? What were their age range when you were teaching?
I worked since 1996. I've been working in the secondary school, senior secondary school. It was just this duty post that took me back to the junior secondary school.
So can you highlight some of the challenges that you had at that period when you were teaching them? Yeah.
That age, that is the adolescent age, where students battle with different challenges. Emotional challenge, psychological challenge, academic challenges, and so on and so forth. But as a mother and as a teacher, I'm always there. I have a listening ear to students. I love students, and they all know. So my office is always a welcoming place for them. They come with their challenges, and in whatever way I can do, I assist them.
I have so many questions, but I'll just make it two parts. Your propagation of morals is very commendable. We need that right now in our generation. But why do you do this, for humanity or for religion? Secondly, how did you encounter religion? Were you introduced to it, or you chose where you are?
Let me start from the rear. So, as a Muslim, I am a Muslim from birth, and that was what I grew up to. So, but when I got to secondary school, there was this organization for the students, Muslim Student Society. So I was a part of it. So that in that place, they nurture, they train, and expose us to the ideal Islam. So making us realize who we are, then making us appreciate seeking for knowledge. It is like a place where you are jihad to seek for knowledge, because the Islam says seeking for knowledge is compulsory on Muslims, whether as a male or as a female. It was from there we realized that knowledge seeking is not only for males, it is for both. And the Prophet Islam also said again that you seek from knowledge from cradle till grave. So which gives us that yearning to seek for more. So right from secondary school, I learned Islam and I was practicing Islam. So when I now got, and when I became a teacher, so it is easy for me to guide, because I was mentored, I was guided, so I was able to do the same to those, impart such teachings onto the students.
As we wrap up with you, there's a question that is in my heart that I'd like to ask you, because I grew up in a Muslim family, and there were a lot of issues with parents not imbibing the Islamic principles on their children, because they lost me. Because me, when I was part of the Islamic group. We used to go to mosque on Fridays, but somehow Sundays were just so interesting, because the church, they're singing and they're dancing, and it was just, as a young teenager, your friends are going to church, let me just join them. And it was from joining them that we gave our life to Christ. So, as you are also an advocate for the religion, would you guide parents to help to imbibe the Islamic principles continually? Because there was a season where you lost a lot of your members to Christianity. That's true. But now there's a lot of more knowledge, but then there wasn't. In fact, when I was growing up, Sundays were exclusive for Christians. But now I hear that there's Asala too, because it was an intervention.
Yes.
Because all your children were going to churches on Sunday. So how would you advise parents to help to continue to imbibe?
Yeah, actually, as a teacher in the classroom, that was one of the challenges. Where you have Muslim names, so many names, but they don't even know anything about Islam. So I began the work. On Fridays, thank God, there was a mosque in each of the school I was. So I encourage them that as a Muslim, you are not only to be a Muslim by name, you have to practice this religion. So when you practice it, you will love it. So, and they will tell you, we don't know how to do it. So, but little by little, we started exposing it to the tenets of Islam, teaching them. But the home, they need to do more. There are some of these homes that their parents are active, but they just left the... You can imagine a family where the father and mother will always wake up very early to go to the mosque, leaving the children behind. So, and it is not...
As a parent of Muslim children, I understand that. Because I started one time saying my kids under 5 can sleep, their morning sleep. I thought it was their father will wake them, insisting that, that's the stage you teach them. But Al-Muminat as a group, as a body, is a body that I'm aware of, helping women professionally, helping them to find the balance between home and profession, and doing the work of dawah also. So let's talk about, in these 30 years, what will you say are the highest achievements of the Al-Muminat group aside the dawah work? Because Abigail is talking about the dawah, but I have benefited from some professional trainings within Al-Muminat.
Yes, and in Al-Muminat, because we are not only out to cater for the religious aspects of their lives, economically, socially, and professionally. And that is why Al-Muminat, there is an aspect that deals with the entrepreneur, and for the entrepreneur members, we organize vocational training on a monthly basis, and it is to empower our members. And sometimes we just few months ago we organized an empowerment training where women were exposed to different vocations, and at the end of the day they got celebrated, and we also showcase their products. So
then, I want to, this is really important because when we talk about religion in Nigeria, they mention religion as one of the major problems we have in Nigeria, dissecting and disuniting Nigerians. So the question is, you've practiced this religion for a long time. What do you think, what are we not doing right in Nigeria as religious bodies? Now, when I say religious body, both Islam, Christianity, and other traditional religion, what are we not doing right?
Thank you, my dear sister. I don't believe religion is our problem. But what I see as our problem is ignorance. We claim to be Christians, we claim to be Muslims, but we don't know about the religion.
True.
Jesus never preached hostility. Muhammad Sallallahu never preached hostility. In fact, the Prophet Sallallahu says, La yukmina ajukum hatta yuhibba li akhihi ma yuhibbu li nafsihi. You are not yet a believer until you love for your brother what you love for yourselves. So many chapters of the Quran talks about loving others as yourself, loving your neighbors. And when we talk about neighbors, we are not talking about Muslims alone. Where we live, we have Christians, we have Muslims, we have those atheists, traditionalists. So you need to live with them. So if we can take time to study what we claim to do or to profess, we will be a better person. Because the pioneers of both religion, Christianity, they are peace lovers.
Yes.
So
I think we can round it. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate that. We celebrate 30 years of doing good work and wishing you another next 30 years.
A month-long program.
Yeah,
it's a month-long program.
Congratulations.
Look forward to thank you.
Thank you. That's all we can take on this segment. When we come back, we want our hot topic of today. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
The Imagine a country with over 300 plenty languages. Why you go the only focus on Yoruba, Hausa, and Igbo? Where we get a common language where they unite everybody from Oga to even Madam sef and every person wey dey for street. That's why we dey introduce you 89.9 Yanga FM, the #1 urban pidgin radio station wey dey unite us all. From the award-winning breakfast show Wetin Dey with your brother, your friend Wale Po.
Everywhere.
So Bobo. You dey chop for this side.
This na Cruise Express.
And this go be the best 4 hours of our life. Country people, make una join us.
Now we be What's Up Naija crew. Now we they give you wetin dey sup for inside we country.
Yes, so
keep it loud.
If God be your papa, why you not gonna make younger?
Compound wahala.
now here we dey settle all the matter.
Bro, you right here.
Nobody better than we, right?
How can our whispers be that? Make I just be the last sensible voice where you go hear.
Now we be 89.9 Yanga FM.
Breaking news isn't just about speed, but more importantly, about fact and accuracy. It is responsible journalism, being ahead, unbiased, sensitive, in telling the stories that people would want to hear in a way that protects their sanity and for the public good. And it goes beyond breaking the news to actually following up, exploring all the angles, engaging newsmakers, tracking impact, all geared towards informing, educating, and setting agenda for the people. Breaking news is holistic, entire, complete. It's about you, me, and the world we live in. Breaking news is at the core of what we do at TVC News, and it's the honor of my life to serve you this news, fresh off the press.
TVC News, first with breaking news.
Good morning, Marina Station and all the passengers. Efficient, it's comfortable.
This development will go a long way in reducing congestion and emission.
The trains are long-term solution to Lagos traffic challenges.
This is where we take the final, decisions on policies, programs of government that will have to ensure that, the narration of Lagos as a PLC is taken very, very seriously.
This is a major pedestrian bridge linking Oyinbo here to Apapa Road over there.
With this overpass, we are providing what we call a permanent solution.
This place is one of the most dangerous areas at the biosecurity environment.
This can go into the news and every crimes of your neighborhood.
Our goal is to remain as Africa's model megacity, to move our GDP from the 5-6 position to the 3rd position, and we believe it's achievable with all the commitments we have.
Explore the city of Lagos, where dreams are made and possibilities are endless.
I'm
Adedoja Salamadini. I live in Lagos, inside Lagos.
I'm Nifemi Oguntoye, news anchor with TVC News. My day is usually busy and it's difficult keeping up with breaking news stories, trending stories, business news, stock exchange and what have you. But with TVC News on WhatsApp, I'm able to catch up with all the breaking news, real-time updates and trending stories on the go right on my phone, no matter where I am. It's quick, easy and always on. And hey, you can join us by scanning the QR code or using the link on our X and Instagram. Why wait? Come to the side of news that keeps you ahead. TVC News, first with breaking news.
I'm Miriam Lunge. I'm a passionate environment advocate and a published author.
I am the founder of Celebration, a businesswoman, and a fashion icon.
I am a wealth coach and a real estate developer.
I am a Makorakwe.
Thanks for staying with us. So the leader of the British Conservative Party, Mrs. Kemi Badenoch, has again come under criticism. I'm trying to speak British English. I can't get it right. Again, has come under criticism after she admitted that attending a federal government girls' college, Shagamu, Ogun State, was a prison experience for her. She also described her maltreatment and forced labor when she shared her experience of being given a machete, to cut grass and buckets to fetch water in secondary school in Nigeria. Well, she described it as prison. Now, what are your thoughts on the fact we're going to hear Nigerians calling not to bash Kemi, because I know you want to bash, but share with us your own experience, because did she lie? Or is she just is she just sharing her experience and embellishing it a bit to sound very, very accepting? I don't know. Me, I can't relate, because me, I went to Corona boarding school. I didn't carry machete. However, we all have different experiences. You can join the conversation 021-6352-013, 090-241-63440. You can also send us your tweets on X and also on YouTube. We're happy to read your thoughts. Who would like to jump in?
Should I jump? Okay. Because I went to a federal government school.
Oh, is your
now we and you go boarding.
Yes, now.
Did you do federal government?
Yes.
Federal government.
But yes, I did.
Communities.
You want me? So I start.
Let me just finish.
Oh, yeah.
So we went to command those days. Our motto for our school is knowledge and discipline. So the discipline was properly highlighted. And that one we first to experience. I did not even resume the first day of school. I had a 3-stroke of cane on my head. So Kemi not lie. If you asked me at the time, I would not tell you anything good about the school. It is with time and healing that I'll be able to tell you that those things formed me. But the time I was living through it, I hated a lot of things about the school. I remember Officer Thank God. He was the one that flogged me in the middle of my head. And I remember boasting to all the friends that, I'm a daddy's girl. My daddy will remove me from this school tomorrow. If I tell him they beat me, I lie. I write they still beat me on my last day of exam. So it is a lot of people's experiences in various schools that they went to and the standards of the school at the time. But that they picked me to punish is a lie. But you know what pains me is that I have read of British boarding schools with worse narratives.
Not cutlass, so they don't do cutlass.
They know they do cutlass. They are worse.
How it was. So
they are worse narratives. A lot of people who have read English books and stories about the real British schools. And you know the worst thing? We are a colonized nation. And the people that she's now aligning with colonized and taught our schools this system. They made vernacular our own dialects in our schools. Punished Nigerian students for speaking their languages, which was their mother tongue in the schools, compelling change of religion, names. If you go to Aochi, you hardly find an uncle of mine who went to the popular school, let me not call that school name, that did not have a Christian name, and they were mostly from Muslim homes. So a lot of things happened that the British should be responsible for. So there's nothing that she's saying. If she was saying it in another land, maybe in the China or South Korea, I will not have minded. But the people that are responsible for the system that she hates is the people that she's trying to. I don't understand.
I don't understand.
Let me come get used to.
So for me, she's not lying. You understand? But my problem with her is there's always an intention behind what she's saying. She's always carrying that message of trying to make Nigeria look very, very bad. But those things, if we ask her closely, they must have trained her one way or the other. She must have learned a lesson from that one way or the other, and she must have, it made her what she is somehow today. So I'm going to, so the issue of saying that we went in with cutlass is very true. When I was in school, no, cutlass, I don't even want to even think. We cut grass tire, I'm telling you. And if you know the way, sometimes the way they give us those portions, they will just come. Sometimes they will say, okay, from this side to this side, they will use leg to measure sometimes they will pick the cutlass from here and then throw wherever the cutlass stops.
Again,
you clear that whole place to that side. And the fact of that water that she was saying that we carry water, very true. Do you know when I entered secondary school as a junior student, you take care of yourself, you take care of your bunkmates. So you from JS1 to 3, you sleep at the top. Then the SS1 to 3 at the bottom bunk. So you are going to take care of anybody who we call it bunkie. So you are going to take care of the senior at the bottom. So what it means is that you're going to wash her clothes, you're going to fetch water, you're going to get everything, you know, all the things that will make her comfortable, you are the one going to do it. So you can imagine the distance. The distance from where we used to go and fetch water to the hostel is very far.
Imagine.
I'm telling you. So you know you are supposed to go in just the kind of bucket. Tinker bucket, that's the metal bucket. The metal bucket on its own is about 5 kg. Then by the time you add water inside again, you can imagine how heavy it was. So we'll carry water and then we'll carry jerry can for drinking, water for drinking. We'll also carry her own bucket and her own jerry can as well. So what we did was that, you know, you wash their clothes. So whenever we go to wash clothes, we'll wash our clothes, then we'll tie it on our uniform, put our clothes on our clothes, because we have to go and dry it in the hostel. And then we'll have to fetch water and take to the hostel. So you can imagine us carrying 2 buckets of water. What we'll do is we'll carry the 2 buckets of water, we'll go and drop in front, come back, come and carry the 2 jerry cans, go and drop. Then, you know, we turned our uniforms to like bag with the clothes inside, wet. Then we go, that's how we continue taking till we get to the hostel. And then we put it, you know, under our beds. So we took care. What she's saying is right. But for me, that thing, you know, I will look at it, you know, from...
So it's dehumanizing and it is man's inhumanity.
But it doesn't happen anymore.
Because the truth is that, yes, it doesn't happen.
Yeah, it doesn't happen a long time ago.
She's sharing her truth, her own experience, because I don't understand
why she always sharing the negative part. Why can't she say
somebody says something wrong,
the good part?
She's sharing her truth.
Morayo, a lot of people's truth, but Kemi didn't wait behind. I remember I was saying to Abigail this morning, the level of slaps I got in secondary school
for
having red lips alone.
Is it right?
Morayo,
You shouldn't have gotten slaps.
That's the point I'm trying to make is there's no way in this world that a school will allow my daughter to be slapped. It's because I lived it. We stayed back. We're changing things.
Yes.
I'm not sitting with anybody talking. I'm in the PTA meeting of the school. In my own daughter's school, this narrative you've gave, we experienced it. Do you know in my daughter's school, it was assigned a senior to the junior. That senior is to pamper that junior till she adjusts to secondary, to boarding home away from home. The senior that I met, I was surprised by daughter's first time in boarding school. I came and I saw her sleeping and some girls were watching. I was like, Auntie, what happened? She said, no. They say, no, it's her welcoming year. For the first year, somebody's going to welcome her. Now, she's welcoming somebody. In that same school that I went to, I was surprised. Before we left school, the seniors, the 1980 students, the 1980-something students, they came in and brought in tractors. They came to school, brought in tractors and said,
to cut the grass.
Yeah. So we stopped cutting grass by ourselves. If you see our field alone, it's a full standard football field with extra. They go say, make we go cut. Is it possible? Some people left school and thought these methods that the British call discipline should change in our schools. And so they came and changed it. It was our alumni group that brought in those tractors for school. They showed the school where to get it, and they put together money to rent those tractors. Every admin officer that came in, the new VP admin knew where to get the tractors, and they got it every quarter to clear the grass. So we left a lawn. Because I'm coming. No, not lawnmowers, as in tractor.
The grass is there.
We had lawns. So those are our lawns. The ones in the while when we are on holiday, we will see that they have lawnmower. But when we come back and we are in school session, the lawns were left for students who were rebellious students to punish. So they'll give you a portion, but it wasn't so hard again. And I went to school 93, 99. People came at that time to come and change things. I want to ask Kemi what has changed in federal government Shagamu that she facilitated.
Exactly. Why she contributed?
That's the point, because in my school those days, a senior student, you are in just an ordinary 1 year. Most likely your age mates that just got admission on time can actually tell you double and you'll be running for miles. I was rude to a senior in the library. I was talking with my friend and she said, this is not a place for talking. I was like, I rolled my eyes. I ended up in the classroom. While another teacher was teaching biology, I was on my knees, frog jumping, stooling. She did not cancel that class. All those things are not possible again in the command of today.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you change things.
Let me come to Abigail. Let me hear your thoughts. Let me remove her glasses. She wants to catch them.
I actually think truth is a bitter pill to swallow. It's very bitter, especially when you know that it falls on you and the blame is on you. We Nigerians, what we have learned to do is, when it affects us, directly, we want to fight. But when we are on the other side, we want to see reason. So this is just a case of Kemi has been doing it too much, and so this one she has said is like pouring more fuel to an already existing fire. But it doesn't mean that what she's saying is wrong at all. I was listening to Nima, you said everything has changed. It hasn't changed. If you want to know, go to public schools now and see what they do there. So what they do is they can have one class in 2 days or one class for a day. And then the rest they do is run errands for teachers, peel egusi, go and fetch water and all that.
Which town is the school there?
School. Exactly.
Do you want, let's not announce. Let's just go into different schools. Let's not announce that we are going to certain schools. Let's just even say, let's conduct this thing. So what I feel is we are very defensive people. We like to attack, but we don't like to look at reasons. And the truth for this person has constantly been demarketing Nigeria for the longest. What are we now doing to now show that, okay, what she's saying is not true? You're hearing her talk and you're seeing something different. But if you go now to different schools, it hasn't changed. You still see teachers and schools exploiting students for man labor, what they should be paying for. And they call it training. That's not training. If you say you have a farm, that you have people who are interested in agriculture and they are doing this, is understandable for knowledge sake. You're not saying because I came late to school, you're flogging me, you're giving me machetes to cut the grass when my mates are in the classroom learning. That is not it. And if you notice, some students don't even have the choice to say, I don't want to go again. Because maybe the means to them going to a better school is not there. Their parents are not so buoyant. And then when they are faced with that, you can't tell somebody how to deal with trauma. I'm sorry, with what Kemi has been doing, I don't like her. I don't say that, no, let me not use that on national TV. I really don't care what she's doing or what she's saying. But what I want to say is, for this particular case, I align with her. If only our education ministry, the sector, will not say, okay, this is a slap on our face. Let's even go and check the schools, what is happening there.
Just to highlight what you said, so if Kemi was talking to, maybe being interviewed by Nima, maybe it won't hurt Nigerians because now we were talking about, so now share experience, but because she's talking to a foreigner, suddenly it's like, you know, it cuts deep walls, and I'm wondering, why would she be telling them that? As if it's not true. Let's go on a very short break. When we come back to our business conversation, stay with us for break.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
Confidence is important in life's little moments. Strong teeth can help, even if they get her into trouble sometimes. A great smile is useful to break the ice, and making friends is easier when you know you have fresh breath. I give my family confidence with Pepsodent Triple Protection 123. Its antibacterial action formula gives them cavity protection, white teeth, and fresh breath. The confidence of 3 toothpaste in 1. Pepsodent Triple Protection 123.
What can I get you?
Can I have some more golden penny pasta?
Tell me why you want more.
Because I enjoy slopping.
This is why I love my golden penny pasta. It's my family's favorite. What's your reason?
It's great for romantic dinner.
Reminds me of home every time. A truly satisfying meal.
It's my ultimate comfort food.
I make delicious combos.
I just want more.
Because I love you all.
What's your reason? Great taste, good nutrition.
Sonia tomato mix, stand up. Is it to open? Is it to squeeze? Is it to scoop and is it to stir? Dishes come alive with so much taste.
Sonia tomato mix in a new stand-up pouch.
No buy am. But why? No see say this big bull bag of rice no get the new big bull holographic seal. Not true.
Introducing the Big Bull holographic seal tape, your favorite authentic Big Bull rice, 50 kg and 25 kg. Now with holographic seal tape. This is to ensure you get the premium product from Big Bull rice. Do not buy if the holographic seal tape is not on the bag or is broken. Big Bull rice, tasty rice, nourished you.
Mealtime is game on. Meet my Sure Bet Game Changer, made from natural ingredients to deliver game-changing chicken aroma and taste for my whole team.
Mom, why did we not use this before?
Upgrade your chicken game with game-changing chicken flavor from Maggi Chicken.
Thanks for staying with us. So as I said, I'm going to share my own story because I can't relate. I went to Corona primary and secondary school. In our school, we don't cut grass. So we have, in fact, when there's no water, they get a tanker to bring the tanker, and you just bring the bucket and the tanker, you fetch your water and you take it upstairs. Sometimes when they can't get a tanker, there's a well not too far off. You go there, you fetch your water, you take it upstairs, and there was never a seniority. In fact, Mrs. Olayemi totally banned that because we were the first set. So we're looking forward to being senior when the next set came. And we tried it. I know I tried it. The Kia set us correct. We don't do that here. It's supposed to actually help them. And so we didn't. So everybody's experiences. So Kemi, maybe you just had a bad experience in Federal Government College. We don't.
Let me disagree.
Just start to put that there. So going back to what Abigail was saying, Abigail, made a very important point.
I agree, but I would disagree. I would disagree in the sense that even back then in the schools that we went in, okay, for instance, in my school, no general's child was done that. No major general's child was touched. You are your father's daughter and your name. So let me tell you a funny joke. So our VP admin at the time was Lieutenant Obasa was his name. And when he walks around the school, everybody's in trouble. So when we see him, we dodge, we hide, we do this. And one day I jumped a window to corner a building, and then I walked into his hands. So if you want to escape trouble, when they ask you, what's your name? Something Akashat. You call your father's title in the army to show respect. So if his title is a lieutenant, you call the higher level. And students do it a lot to get away from trouble. So when he asked me, I did not know where it came from. I said, civilian Akashat. The man looked at me. As a 13-year-old, 14-year-old, he said, what did you say? I said, civilian Akashat. He laughed and said, just be going. And since that day, if you ask me my father's name, I will say civilian Akashat. Because I think that put off the teachers from beating us. But we found ways to cope. So I will not come and tell you that it didn't happen to Kemi. What I'm going to say to Kemi is that you don't choose which trauma to highlight. Wait now. Because we have Kemi's letter of appeal in 2010 when she was going to Parliament. Agorida. When she was running for Parliament in 2010, UK general elections for the Dulwich and West Norwood, she wrote a letter to the Nigerian community. She said, this race is very tight. In fact, she wrote, hi everyone. As you know, I am running for Parliament in the 2010 UK general elections for Dulwich and West Norwood, and the race is very tight. And last year, a survey was carried out in the constituency by the New of the Worlds, and the forecast was that I would win. This year, things are a lot tougher as the party has dropped nationally in the polls. I need your help. Reaching out to our
Nigerian community.
Yes. There are just about 20 days to go before the polling day, and Nigerians have been fantastic. My immediate circle of friends, ex-schoolmates, and their friends, they come, they rush. They come.
It's not possible.
And their friends and all our families have really rallied around and have been supportive. Unfortunately, those that don't know me have been very unpleasant. In a recent BBC interview, a caller insulted me because I am Yoruba. I was very disappointed that a Nigerian woman who claims to have lived in London for 45 years has issues with me being a Yoruba than with my political views, and shamefully made her comments on national radio. We really need to get out of this mindset where we are fighting for one another. I want to quickly come to where she promised. So she highlighted what she would do. She said, my promise to you is, if I am elected a legislator, I will use whatever influence I have to speak out against those who are cheating and robbing Nigeria and who seek refuge for themselves or their money in the UK. I will speak out against the UK backing any individual who are fully support and help to publicize genuine grassroots initiatives such as Light Up Nigeria, where the next generation of Nigerians are trying to change things for better.
Now she like that. No, she not be she. She even
said that manifesto they present when they want to get it. At
that time, she was Kemi Adegoke.
Okay, she was not
so before she inherited the in-laws, she was Kemi Adegoke.
It doesn't sound exactly. It doesn't sound like Kemi.
So she went to Shagamu. She was traumatized. She was Nigerian when she needed to get election.
So let me take this call from a person called Ability. Thanks for calling. You're live. Ability, are you there? I think we lost that call. Yes.
Okay, so Abigail, I want to answer you. I want to agree with you. At the same time, I want to disagree a little bit. But the fact that, okay, those things happened a lot those days. But now, there is a tremendous change, like in between. There's a lot that's happened. It still happens, but, you know, like every society.
People still exist.
There are also in some societies, you find out that there are some schools that still do those old day stuff. Okay, like for example, now we have our alumni, and we've been doing very well with the school. We have gone back to the school. Yeah. We are doing so much for the school and everything. But all these things that we went through, they no longer exist. Yeah. Now they pet the kids. They make sure that these kids.
And was in a different way, maybe not exactly as you explained, but she's saying that there's still some behaviors of these are schools that is wrong. So it depends on where you are. What you learn.
Let me give you a most recent example. This is not even a secondary school. This is a tertiary institution. Imo State University, when someone highlighted people holding umbrellas while it was raining and they were having lectures. Now, that is a tertiary institution. Now, come back to the secondary. What do you think happened? You saw that when that came, the attack was on the person who published it, not on the management of the school who should be doing what they should be doing. And if you ask them how much do they pay for tuition and every other development fee, you will hear the outrageous money they accept from students. And then they don't even have the conducive environment. And that's one. Now, those times when we were in school, you would just sit in class and then you see supervisors come to your class and then they are inspecting and making sure everything is okay. I don't know if that's still there now. I don't think it's still there now. So people are very angry at what is happening in Nigeria, especially those in the diaspora. And most of them have not been able to change because despite the fact that they keep talking about this rot, the corruption, nothing is being done. And at the end of the day, the image of Nigeria has been smeared beyond. I think it's gone way further than we can actually even imagine. So these people, I feel, what they are doing is poking the big wigs in Nigeria, poking the leadership, so that when we disgrace you, maybe you will remember. Go back.
It's yourself you are disgracing. It's not
exactly.
Yes.
What does she have to lose? What does she have to lose?
I agree with you up to a point. But I really do not agree that continually poking or continually, what's the word? Denigrating Nigeria publicly is helping because
I don't support her for that.
Even affects Nigerians who live in the diaspora.
I don't support her for that.
I like what you said about the umbrella in the classroom because that person, the person who experienced it, tomorrow will become a Kemi Badenoch and will be sharing an experience and they'll be bashing her. Where we actually
can I give Abigail
that experience?
Because Abigail said this happened at a higher institution. Higher institutions, you were supposed to be adults. I was in parliament in my university. All the way from year 2 till final year. I was speaker in my school parliament.
It's not about parliament.
We were not playing. We were changing things. I remember then, we were wearing long skirts. Some of these advocates, we do aluta. Let me tell you something. So I don't believe a state university. I'm coming
but
to
this one.
Let me finish. You don't have to understand. It's me that went to the school. We did our advocacy. We changed the things that we did not want. And we saw our school better for it. I'm coming there. Recently, this year or late last year, students of the university, Lagos State University, I think the Department of Faculty of Agriculture, they sent me very implicating documents of a lecturer who enslaved them in the fields when they are planting, made them walk into the night in darkness using torchlight to plant. And he was like, the state took a stand. Not long after with all the advocacy and everything.
It happened.
That's why I said there are bad people everywhere. My point is, even in that London,
they might not even know because they are bad.
I'm waiting to respond to you.
Hold on, Morayo.
Hold on, to finish so I can respond.
Hold on, Morayo. We know that this thing called homosexuality, I don't know whether it's a language I can use on TV. A lot of students back then in the UK were abused sexually into those things. They transferred it to our schools here. It happened here. Some of this, there's no place you don't find a bad person, and people's experiences are bad per time. My point is that even when there's a crazy person, according to make I use local language, if you say they're mad, the states or the machinery of government will be madder than you.
Okay.
In Lagos State, that teacher was sacked. He was punished. The group of them in that school, go and Google it. There was a stand against it. Government to do
let me go on a very short break. When we come back,
responsive.
When we come back, we'll take this further. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
The world needs moms. With a splash of golden terra oil, a mom can transform a frown into a smile. Change.
I'm a commercial lawyer and an entrepreneur. Welcome to our hacker. I am Ramatu Shehu Oyibo, an entrepreneur and a business coach.
I am the voice of an average Muslim woman, an hijabite, and a lawyer.
I am a polymath and a serial entrepreneur.
I am Murayo Afolabi Brown, Managing Director, TVC Entertainment. I'm a media consultant, producer, and broadcaster.
The ladies of Your View are made of women from different professions, tribes, cultures, and religion. Join us every Monday to Friday as we share our views on topical and social issues.
The TVC News at 7 and the TVC News at 10 are not like any other news broadcast.
It's the big news hour, the hour for the big breaking stories.
We've got some of the best reporters on the field,
taking you through as it happens.
It's fast-paced, hot-hitting,
with investigations that matter.
bringing the news that affects your life.
The sports, entertainment, and business news, so you don't miss a thing.
Experience resourceful coverage with depth.
Everything.
Imagine a country with over 300 plenty languages. Why you go dey only focus on Yoruba, Hausa, and Igbo? When we get a common language wey dey unite everybody from oga to even madam sef and every person wey dey for.
Thanks for staying with us. I want to respond to Nima. Madam SUG. You see, the issue I have is the fact that you said because there's a student government, they should be able to fight for these kinds of things. And that's where I disagree with you. I, Murayo, I was president of the student government in my first college, Mercer County Community College. Go and check it, 1997 to 1998. I was president. I was also president of the African Union in Rutgers University called TWESE. The only thing we're doing is organizing outreaches to the poor, outreaches to help people, to collecting clothes, to help motherless babies, to help giving out medical supplies. That is what our business was, or getting people organized to raise funds, to do cookie, whatever the nonsense they always do in campuses. It is wrong for us to expect a student government to be fighting for them to fix leaking roofs, or to be fighting for them to do the right thing. They are supposed to do it. There was a time I went to speak, Nima, at a school. When I entered the place I was supposed to speak, first of all, there was no air conditioner. There were cobwebs everywhere. The chairs were broken, and I was on stage, and I was in a university. And before I started, I said, first of all, I want you guys to look around you. This is an anomaly. This thing you are seeing is an anomaly. You shouldn't be here. I shouldn't be talking to you in this kind of condition because you are the future. Somebody should have had the vision to create an enabling environment for you to have people to come and speak in your schools. So it is wrong for us to think it is okay for students to be fighting for things that schools should ordinarily provide. So that burden is too much to put on students. That's where I have an issue.
No. In Nigerian universities, that's where you get it wrong. Student union are a pressure group. The National Association of Nigerian Students is a pressure group. Shawore is an example of what the National Association of Nigerian Students can be back then in Uniland. They moved for change. They compelled people in offices to do the right thing, to change things. If the schools are leaking today, I remember back then, even in our school, when they watered down the SUG. Our SUG was not to go and donate. We were not a charity group. We were a Luther continua. If you hear Luther, well, some of us, I was almost rusticated.
No, but to learn how can you be creative? How can you fix Nigeria?
There's one language that one of our says for the larger world. That the university system is supposed to prepare you for the real world.
Is that what Shawore is doing?
They go contest for presidency. You know they see him.
Don't you need someone to fix our country?
He started from there. Yes, he started from there. Back then, before student union were watered, what was Wole Soyinka's group, which some people played down. I don't want to call it the group.
Pirates.
But they were an influencer group. They compelled students and governments and school admins to do the right thing. So Nigerian student union groups are a core important pressure group in society.
Let me take this call. Sorry, I thought it was just a student government. Let me take
it's not not a private university.
Abimbola, thanks for calling. You're live.
Yeah,
are you there?
Morning, Morayo and the
Please, I need some volume.
Sorry, Abimbola.
I just want to make a quick comment.
Well, can't hear him.
This is unfortunate that Kemi, wherever he speaks in the house there, he lambasts Nigerian people and the government of Nigeria. Another national had become a prime minister of this same country. The immediate past prime minister of this country was from minority ethnic. He did not say a single bad word about his country or his people in diaspora. I don't know why it is always we Africans that will put down on our things, on our own system. And she's not a prime minister yet. She's only acting as a leader of the Tory party. I wonder what she will say if she becomes a prime minister. Thank you so much and enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you very much. If you want to go by what Nima read before, by what she said when she was at Adegoke, to what she said when she's banning knock. Something happened, and I blame the Nigerians and America. Maybe in the UK, something happened, something triggered. No. There's something happened between they did something. They did something.
You know, when you're seeing an
and I think we need to go and investigate because when she was at Adegoke, she was speaking well to Nigerians. Then she became a banning knock. Something else happened. Something triggered that.
You need a means to an end. Probably she already knew what she wanted to do, and she wanted to play on the minds of people, which is what most of our politicians do too.
It's too much. Every single
I started by saying,
word from her.
I'm not in support of her
Nigerians.
demarketing Nigeria, especially at this time when we are sitting at the volatile aspect of these smear campaigns, bad imaging of Nigeria. I'm not in support. Whatever Nigeria did to her, people have been begging her. We are sorry.
Okay, let me take
no vex again.
From Bonnie Camp. Thanks for calling, Queen. You're live.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Please, what I want to say now is just that we in Nigerians will feel we are not good. If we listen to news and watch what is happening, like in Sweden, you see that 15-year-old children are paid to kill. You see children carrying gun into classes and killing. When teachers didn't even do anything to them. And here in Nigeria, we are trying. If you check the histories of America, UK, 200 years ago, you know that they were worse than us. What they did was horrific. But you don't see them shouting. As that man rightly said, somebody was a minister, prime minister there from India. You see the abuses that is happening in India. But he didn't say it. I don't know why Nigeria, when we have a little chance, we want to condemn this country. We are still developing. We are just 60 plus. By the time we reach 100, 200 years of development, definitely we'll see what is happening in other countries. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Queen. There's an article I wanted to read from Praise for Wole. When I read that article, I was quite intrigued by his narrative. He called the article, they called it prison, but it gave me wings. Was it truly a prison, or was it simply a raw and rugged forge, too loud to whisper comfort, yet quietly molding legends? Yes, your secondary school may have lacked air conditioning. The teachers may have been underpaid. The punishments too harsh. But let us not forget, in that same school, someone birthed a dream. A group of girls built a robot. Another girl found her voice in the drama club. A child forgotten my...
Is that not Upper School?
Sorry?
FDC Shagam.
You know, a child forgotten by many taught herself math by candlelight and later solved national problems. You see, every institution has its own flaws. No country, no system holds the monopoly to perfection. Not the UK, not anywhere. Every place you run to comes with its own shadows. There are schools abroad with glittering walls, but grieving hearts. Students with iPads, but no identity. Classrooms with polish, but with no purpose. We must be careful not to curse the soil that grew us simply because it wasn't fragrant. Sometimes the very pain we despise is the pressure that forged our excellence. Sometimes the prison was actually a womb of purpose. Let's be honest, some of us were raised by school walls that didn't pamper, but they planted. The corridors that taught resilience. The stern voices built grit. The lack of luxury birthed creativity. And while the system may fail to love us gently, it trained us loudly. I thought that was deserving. Very well. When I read it, I was like, is this praise?
Yes.
You know, I was shocked. That was very profound. Because you must always see the silver lining in every experience. And I think I agree with what has been said so far. Yes, it was your experience, but what have you done about it? We all have experiences. Now, the person who is interviewing you may not share his own experience because he had his own demons that he had growing up. So people come from different places, but what you make of it is what the world wants to see.
Okay, so let me talk about the positive part of this whole thing, because I learned a lot. I went through a lot, but I learned at the end of the day, because it helped me transition into the university very well. When I got into university, I didn't need anybody to tell me how to dress my bed, how to do a lot of things, how to survive in an environment like that. I was able to survive very well, because when I even entered, you know, the university, you can cook and all of that. But in school, you know, while you're in school, we tried to make ourselves, because the food they were giving us in the dining was not enough. So you can imagine we started doing a bange, we'll try and do, you know, mix this and this. We started drinking gari, put everything inside gari, we put milk, Milo, put cabin biscuit and everything. So those were survival instincts. So I was able to go into the university very well, and I survived. And even when I was able to choose my friends, when I entered university, you know, we have groups of friends, but because of where I was coming from, we learned a lot. And keeping our environment and everywhere clean very well. When I was in university, I can remember one period, there was no water. Till today, I can take my bath with just a paint bucket of water.
Yeah,
I can manage it, and it will go well.
Absolutely,
need a class to go well.
Absolutely. I can remember, because even I too. So even though yes, we had water, but sometimes we didn't have enough water. So I can bath with half a bowl of water because you gotta shine. You gotta go to school.
NYC camp will teach you to do that.
Yeah. So
my kids now, when they go to school, there's no shower.
I think I have a call. It was a commercial break. I think we can wrap up on this.
I was going to say.
Let me go on a commercial. When we come back, I'll let you wrap up. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
TerraCube is available in beef, chicken, jollof, and shrimp flavors at attractive prices of 100, 200, 500 naira, along with saver and super saver packs.
TerraCube. Unwrap joy. Unleash taste.
Good, tasty food is worth living for. Worried about your oil every time you enjoy your favorite meal? Introducing Smart Balance. Smart Balance rice bran oil is rich in gamma oryzanol. Several studies suggest that gamma oryzanol may contribute to the reduction of bad cholesterol. Golden Terra Smart Balance oil. Good food, no worries.
Sonia tomato mix, stand up. Is it to open? Is it to squeeze? Is it to scoop? And is it to stir? Dishes come alive with so much taste.
Sonia tomato mix in a new standard pouch.
Mealtime is game on. Meet my Sure Bet Game Changer, made from natural ingredients to deliver game-changing chicken aroma and taste for my whole team.
Mom, why did we not use this before?
Upgrade your chicken game with game-changing chicken flavor from Maggi Chicken.
So we're still talking about Kemi Badenoch and her comments. Abigail had a question?
Yes,
I
I actually have a comment. So I like the fact that we Nigerians would like to defend ourselves, and when it comes to image, as it affects those abroad, we like to also portray the good side. Yes, we are united, and we have the goods. We are good people. People who will accept or speak unbiased as regards we Nigerians. They will say we are good people. We are very... In fact, we are forced to reckon with. But then we have our challenges, as everyone says and sees. But then, those challenges, what do we do with them? Do we jump at everyone who attacks us just because, okay, they have in the UK now, so everybody should just accept it the way it is? What are we doing to make sure that years to come, we can look back and say, okay, Kemi said this about our education sector, and 2 years after, this is what is going on in our education sector. Because the reason people like to tell you the truth is so you work on the truth. So what are the advancements going on in the education sector? Nima talked about alumni fixing schools. It's not their job. There are people paid to do these things. There are people commissioned to do these things. What are they doing with the job given to them when alumni will now be the ones doing this whole stuff? So yes, I like Nigeria. I love Nigeria. I want Nigeria to work. But then the things that are not working, when we hear comments like this, let's work on it and act on it.
Let me come to you for a second, because sometimes I always feel like Nigerians too, we don't ask the right questions, or we don't even go to check. We don't even care, because we rather stick with the old narrative. Oh, all the schools are bad.
Nigerians,
Nothing is doing. What's happening in that country? Because whenever I travel and I sit down with Nigerians, the narrative they're still sharing is narrative of the 90s. They're everywhere. There's traffic everywhere. The last time I wake up 6:30, I leave my house 6:30, I get to work by 7:30 in an hour. Because again, you spend like 3 hours in traffic. I said, what? No, they're Lagos sometimes. But sometimes I get to work in just an hour, you know? So some people use that narrative. So you're saying schools. But the possibility that some schools have actually improved. There are some good principals who have ensured that the budget was used judiciously for the improvement of the infrastructure of the schools. We don't have the data. So another problem we have is that we don't have adequate data feeding back to Nigerians to say, this is how, because I had the experience with Lagos State, with Eco-Excel. I saw the work they were doing to actually renovate some schools. There's a school in Agege. They built that school with containers, recyclable material. It's still functioning. So some of these things are happening, but because we don't have the data, the information, we always assume, oh, there's no improvement. Maybe we are wrong.
There are exceptions, and we know that there are states and governors that are really doing well. Talk about Lagos State. Let me call the school in my village, Ibotirem in Andoni. Most of those schools, they don't have teachers. school management. Most of the schools are not even registered. So what I am sitting here and talking about is not trying to
generalize,
to even excuse Kemi for what she has done. What are we now going to do to make sure this doesn't happen? Because we don't even have the data.
Hassan has been holding on for a minute. Hassan from Jos, sorry for keeping you. Go ahead, please.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning. We can hear you. You're live.
I waited 9 minutes to.
So sorry about that. I sincerely apologize.
So let me get at it. And I want to direct this one to our sister Nimat. Is there any legal option that a nation can put a case for a disobedient child because she's carrying our name, Kemi, and she's at every opportunity she's demarketing Nigeria. Mr. Rishif Sunik, an Indian by extraction, was a prime minister, but I never heard of the time he demarcated India. So now our schools are evolving. I'm not saying our school should be 100%. Like the current governor, Mr. Monday Opebelo, the school he is refurbishing. The students that were at the school earlier and the ones that will be in now, at least there's a sharp contrast because then it was bad. Now the school are being put back in order. What I'm saying to try to say is that schools evolve. So at least having a little understanding for what she went through, but for her to brand our own school a prison, I take an exception to that. We deserve an apology, like I feel she deserves to say sorry to a nation that she should be grateful about. And she's carrying our name, Kemi. And the bad news is I don't know whether it's British or not, but Kemi is proudly Nigerian. If she don't like Nigeria, why would she be carrying a Kemi? And another irony of it is that she cannot do a week without mentioning Nigeria. She's in love with Nigeria, even though her wordings are the other way around.
Thank you very much, Hassan. Thank you very much, Hassan. Any comments?
Just as you were talking about something must have happened in between the Adegoke and Badenoch switch that Nigerians must have done. A light bulb went up in my head. So Kemi seems to me to be someone who suffers from the inferior complex of being an African.
Yeah.
And when she was an Adegoke, nothing might have happened. In fact, it might be that the British did something to her when she became a Badenoch for her to want to appeal to them at all costs. For her to feel so less of herself that she wants to show them that me too, even though I'm black-skinned, I'm a human being.
Like them.
And before her, there were Nigerians who were married to titled British. And we used to read in the ovations of those days, young Nigerians who married titled British men, who carried themselves with the pride of being Nigerian, who did not apologize. But Kemi seems so apologetic for offending the British for marrying the Badenoch guy that she has to do something. So when Hassan was talking earlier, he mentioned if there's possibility of us doing an action against Kemi. Yes, in the one when she said that her children are not Nigerian citizens. Obviously, she didn't do her research. Obviously, it is, for her to remain in the British news, to remain, Nigerians are everywhere. They are the ones that make news. Now they let something trend. Now it's our response to this thing now that's making it being said. The British, they probably have looked at her like, the Prime Minister said to her in Parliament one time that he does not dignify, that Kemi must be deluded to think he called her because she said she had called him to make something happen. And he said, you're not even in my thoughts. Something as if you're not even, you must be dreaming to think that important. The video is online. So she will constantly need the Nigerian victim narrative to be relevant.
Let me take this call from Izu Agbe. He's calling from Abuja. Thanks for calling.
Izu
Agbe. You're live. Go ahead, please. Izu Agbe, you're live. Go ahead, please.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning. We can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Very clearly.
The Kemi Badenoch description of Nigerian schools as a prison. We should find out from her how many Nigerian students were in that school that were obese at the time she was there. She doesn't realize that exposing those children to physical exercise, including using that machete to cut grass, enable them to shed off a lot of weight, and they were not obeyed. Go and check out what is happening in our UK schools. Find out from her how many children in the UK secondary schools and high institutions that are obese today that the government of the UK is spending a lot of money to control their obesity and the kind of human being that they say she bites the finger that feeds her. She should remember it is the Nigerian blood that runs through her veins. I wonder where she will run to when the time comes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Izobe.
So there's Kemi, or shall we call her Victoria now, has realized she doesn't make the headlines except she denigrates Nigeria. She has identity crisis and deep-seated wounds. What she needs is therapy, not a PM job.
Any other comments, social media?
Sorry, my
network is. Then someone said it rains everywhere. Nigeria fit overdo, but no be only Nigeria they do.
Okay.
Another person said that.
Let me take. I think engineer Tijani sent me a message. Let me check it out. It says every society or country had their period of ignorance, and these things happened in the past. Kemi should learn to live with the past and forge ahead. It was a time many people thought it was the only way to discipline, and even parents did not rise against it. Let her leave the past behind and move on. If many Africans had to keep thinking and talking about their past, the cruelty of man to another man during the transatlantic slave trade would lead to unending hatred for the white settlers. She should please expunge Nigeria from her heart and let us breed Haba. Any other comments?
Cecilia says, Rishi Sunak openly and gladly practiced his religion and showcased his Indian cultural heritage, but Kemi, Adegoke Diri, never misses an opportunity to degenerate Nigeria. I think when she comes home, she can say, Mama, you have to improve your cooking, but not rubbishing her mother to her adopted parents, because no matter what, her mother birthed her and before she got adopted.
Right. Jalil Aziz, echoing what Nima said earlier, says, good morning, the ladies of your view. Concerning Kemi's remarks about her prison-like experience in Nigeria secondary school, she needs to be reminded that her alleged experience was a legacy of her adopted country, Britain, under their colonial era in Africa. The popular Ebere, Mole, Kerukoba, she should question her British fellow citizens.
Exactly. So YD says, I once attended a training with a British lady who lived in Nigeria between early 70s. While chatting with her, she said the UK was once worse than Nigeria, that things will get better. My sister went to FGC Akure. I visited that then. Corey Michael was trying to say, I can't find the other tweet. But people are just, saying that, as truth as what she's saying is, it's the use of this narrative. For me, the objective of
you gotta use what you have to get what you want.
It's not, you see the British, they're now she has made a mockery of us. Every time she opens them, I think she needs to sit down and strategize. She needs to strategize.
Even the timing.
So what would have worked for her, they made sure that it is something that will always, she's now holding a two-edged sword, cutting herself as much as she's flinging it. So
Can I ask you a question, Nima? What if this woman becomes prime minister tomorrow? What would you, although you eat your words?
I'll be surprised. I'll be happy for her.
You eat your words, all of you?
No, I will eat it.
Not.
Wait, I will eat it. I'll be surprised. I will be surprised
because
for her.
With
the way
she's going, prime minister.
It will be miracle, and then it will be still a disadvantage to her, because then she will just be an object used. Let her win it laudably. Go there and get it without spoiling home. Truly, that Rishi Sunak example will never leave her. And they will always compare her to that. She doesn't even know anything about anything cultural. She doesn't wear a Yoruba heritage proudly anymore. Except but when she's talking, she talks and says she wants to change, and then she slices the country.
Do you know the irony of the whole story?
We can take to tell us on today's show.
The irony is, even those abroad want our culture.
On today's show.
Can we chop jollof rice and
a few things as we have a fabulous day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.
Bye.